Hi, everyone. Great to be here and with my wonderful friend Tara. And we're having a conversation today about the holiday season. And so, our question for you today is, with the holiday season approaching, what difference will it make when we're more intentional about our interactions with others? So, so we're talking about this idea that, you know, as the holiday season approaches, we tend to look at it sort of on a grand scale, the big picture, right? Oh, we're going to be, meeting with more people. We're going to be meeting with family, likely. There will be celebrations. There will be all kinds of things going on. And some of those things are wonderful, and some of those things are perhaps not so great. And so, and all of our experiences, of course, are going to be different. But so we were asking ourselves, what is it that we can be focusing on and what will be helpful? So
Mm.
I'm going to turn it over to you, Tara, and then we can have a conversation about it.
Yes, yeah, it's as you were talking then, I was thinking about, when you kind of bump into people and, the kind of question is, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? And yeah, I think it's really important to highlight that this holiday season can be a really different experience for lots of people and giving, yeah, being sensitive to that and acknowledging that. But I think when there's a sort of a focus on being intentional um about how we might choose to interact with people, I was thinking about, and this is a continual theme in my life, that, as I was saying to you earlier, it's something that I constant sort of circle back to and continue to work on, but really setting the intention to slow down um, as I approach, the holiday season, and thinking about, what I know from the past when I've done that is the difference it then makes to how I can and do interact with people in my life, in my everyday life, and that might be uh, my family, that might be my friends, that might be somebody that I pass on the street, somebody in the shop, or literally anybody. And that's really being intentional about slowing down and that noticing and being able to meet people, whether that's crossing on the street and smiling and having eye contact, or whether that's creating more space to have a conversation with my children and really valuing that time. And maybe that's just having that space to just be with them. And a conversation might come from that.
Mm.
But yeah, that slowing down, that being really intentional and taking the pressure off, that this period of, of the year, of this time, this time is where it can be for people, is about gathering, it's
Yeah.
about coming together. It's creating spaces to connect with people and being able to treasure those moments.
Yeah. And it's not even necessarily about having the large scale conversations, right?
No.
Like the big conversation around the dinner table, or it's not even necessarily about that. It's just about capturing the moment in the small, unique conversations or interactions that we can be having with individuals over the course of the day or over the course of the week. It's interesting. It makes me think of my daughter Emily, and when she was very little, and she always loved photography and taking pictures. And she would talk about capturing the moment, right? And for her, it was the visual moment. And I think, and you know, how sweet is that? Because essentially what she was saying was, I want to be present to capture that, what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mm.
And I kind of feel that way about interactions and conversations. I want to be present to capture that interaction because, you know, these valuable little interactions, they come and go. And we can miss that opportunity. So to be present and to say, I'm going to capture this
Yeah.
opportunity and
Um,
have this little conversation. It doesn't, you know, it could just be a little bit of chit chat or whatever. It doesn't have to be, you know, the great conversation, but just to be able to be there and notice the importance of that interaction in the moment.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I just went this morning. I went for a swim, and then I was kind of getting, had to my shower, and I was getting ready afterwards, and I just had this like really small conversation with this other woman, and it was just a tiny interaction, but just a really lovely, there wasn't anything in particular but we were just appreciating the moment, valuing that we were able to come and do, have our swim and the difference that it made, and just wishing each other a lovely day. And it was just, it really filled my heart. It was just such a lovely interaction, and just that, having that space to do it. And
Yeah.
um, rather than like, oh God, I've got to rush, I've got to get ready, I've got to be somewhere else. It was just savoring that again, like this slowing down, and as you say, capturing. I love that, and it is about being present. It's,
Yes.
it's really being intentional around how we can be present um, in tiny moments as well as those bigger
And,
moments.
you know, and I think that in that conversation that you had with that woman, right? Um, she felt noticed by you and you felt noticed by her in the
Mm,
moment.
yeah.
And that's really so very special, right? That when we open up a small conversation with someone, even someone who isn't expecting
Mm,
to have a conversation with us or an interaction with us. But if we open it up and invite them into an interaction, then what the message we're sending to them is we notice you and we value this moment
mm,
with you. Even if it's, you know, standing in line beside somebody waiting to order a coffee or, you
mm,
know, just saying hello, you know, getting into a taxi and actually having a conversation with the taxi driver to say, hey, you know, how's your day going?
yeah.
And what happens is that the message we're really sending is we notice you and we appreciate you and we appreciate having this interaction together.
Mm,
And it really, I find that it fills things like that fill us up,
yeah.
don't they?
We
They
do.
fill us
Yeah.
up with positive energy and that we're able to then carry forth throughout our
Mm,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that tiny interaction can be the little bit of light amongst the dark for some people. You just not knowing what people are going through in their lives, when we can notice others, and uh, be kind and thoughtful in that moment, that can make a real difference to someone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, you know, I think that people feel many moments of insignificance,
Mm,
right? That whether young people or
yeah.
older people, it doesn't matter where we feel like, okay, are we making a difference? Are we making a difference? Are we being valued? Are we being appreciated? And it doesn't always feel that way for everyone, or
No.
if it does, it doesn't always feel that way all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important for us to like you said, make space for
Mm,
that even if just a little bit of space. And what I find sometimes about being very, very conscious of having these little interactions throughout the day is that it really does improve the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and it really does improve the kinds of relationships that we have with people, because we know that in the relationships that we have with other people, so much of that relationship is about how we bring ourselves to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're intentionally bringing ourselves to the communication, thinking about how we communicate with people, making space for that, um, I really think it changes our day, the
Mm-hmm.
way we think and the way other people think, as we improve how we communicate with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Important, very valuable. And yeah. Yeah.
So we'd like you all to um, really think about this as you enter into the holiday space, and we wish you all a very wonderful holiday season. And my doorbell just rang. I don't know if you heard that, Tara.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
My cat just cried. Did you hear
I
that?
no. Anyway, thanks
Oh,
everyone.
yeah.
Take
Take care, everybody. Bye.